On today's episode, I'm going to dive deep into the mystery of KMD pedals. It's like Bigfoot, Area 51, Loch Ness Monster, all rolled into one with, of course, a little bit of guitar. So let's jump right into it. KMD pedals are a sort of enigma among guitar pedal enthusiasts and guitar pedal collectors because there's not a lot of information about who designed these, what factory they were made in, and who actually made them. There's actually a TMZ hot saucy rumor that BOSS Roland actually manufactured these secretly. I find that hard to believe, but I kind of want to believe it. And honestly, I've seen these pedals for about 10 years and I haven't slept a night since then because I need answers. And today, this episode has one goal: to get me some answers, to share answers with you so I can sleep. So the first thing we need to know, who is KMD? What are they? Where are they from? What's the deal? Number two, do these pedals sound good? Because that kind of matters. And number three, did BOSS make these secretly in a hidden factory in Japan? Let's see. I don't know. Who's KMD? Let's go for it. Normally in life, when you want to learn about someone or a company, you just look it up and it's pretty quick. But in the case of these KMD pedals, it's actually kind of complicated and it starts way back. It starts in 1835 with a company called Bruno and Sons. Yes, this pedal company that I'm talking about on today's episode started in 1835. Say it with me. 1835. Bruno and Sons is a musical merchandise wholesaling catalog. So you go into the general store, there's a catalog, you pick things out of it, and so on. You're a cowboy, you're on your horse, you're exhausted, you've been riding through the desert in the sun, people shooting at you. You get off your horse, you're thirsty, you go into the general store, you buy some whiskey, you buy a thing for your horse, whatever. You can do anything you want because you're a cowboy. And then in the back of that book, there's musical stuff, jaw harps, harmonicas, fiddles, banjos. I don't know, you're a cowboy, you're an artist, you want an instrument, you buy it. That's Bruno and Sons. Let's skip forward to point number two. 110 years later, people, 110 years later, 1945, we have a new character. He's not a cowboy, but he's awesome. He's Chuck Helicopter Man Kamen. Now, Chuck's name is Charles. I feel like if I knew him, I'd call him Chuck because he makes helicopters for the military. And the military pays him bazillions of dollars. He's filthy rich. He's living his best life. And he's a guitar player. And he has a dream. He invents a guitar in his mind where everything's invented first. And then he hires these engineers with his amazing helicopter money from the government, and they invent the Ovation guitar in 1966. You know, that guitar, it's like plastic and wood and you can't play it setting down because it slides off. He invents that thing. Then, number four, makes tons of money from this. And he decides, where am I going to sell the Ovation? I need to sell more of the Ovation. He has tons of money. Remember that. Tons of money. Chuck Helicopter Man Kamen. He buys Bruno and Sons. Yes, the Bruno and Sons of 1835. He buys them. They're a massive wholesaler at this time. And he buys the other massive wholesaler, Coast. He buys the two biggest musical instrument merchandise wholesalers, and he creates a Kamen empire of musical wholesale, and he names it KMC, Kamen Musical Corporation. He's amazing. Then in the 80s, he's wholesaling stuff, he's selling stuff for everybody, and he says, I want my own products. I have KMC as a wholesaler, but I need my products, and I'm gonna call those KMD, Kamen Musical Devices. And people like Bon Jovi like them, and he sells tons of them. That's who we're dealing with here. How do they sound? Let's move on. The first pedal in this series is the KMD Distortion. It's a beautiful plum Barney color. I think that's pretty descriptive. 4 controls: treble, bass, level, and distortion. So treble and bass on a distortion in the mid 80s is pretty odd. And the bass frequency on this is like a low mid frequency that's odd. So it's an odd pedal, but it is some type of BOSS DS1 style thing. It has clipping diodes in it. I can't really get a grasp on the circuit from looking at it, and I don't want to take it apart any further, but we're going to play it. You're going to experience it. It is the KMD Purple Distortion of Glory. Next up is the analog delay. This has 4 controls: delay, tone, mix, and repeat. Now, again, for the mid-80s, tone on a delay is really wild. It's not very common, and it's not something you see. So as you turn that, you can make the repeats darker or brighter, and that's really cool. And of course, because this is the 80s, this is a Bucket Brigade delay. So it's true analog, MN3207 Bucket Brigade chipset. It sounds fantastic. I've showed it like 2 years ago on an episode. I can't even remember when, but it's really, really great. It does all the quirky analog things like runaway. It has a real nice range of time. It doesn't just do slapback like a lot of other delays. It actually has some extension in the time. Not quite a second, but fairly close, and very, very versatile. Next is the Phaser. I want to point out a couple things that I love about this pedal. First, and most importantly, it is the color of an Alaskan wild-caught salmon. Now, I've never been to Alaska. I've never caught a wild salmon. I've never even seen a salmon in real life, other than the grocery store or on a plate at a restaurant. But I believe this is the color of salmon. Nick, is that a right color?
I don't know, it's like a real chill red.
It's a salmon color. And there's also a tone control. So for phasers, that's odd. Very unique, very cool. It makes this pedal really versatile. This doesn't do a lot of crazy sounds. You're not gonna turn this phaser on and join Incubus, but you can turn it on and play a lot of classic rock. You can do some nice subtle phasing sounds, which I really enjoy. And again, the color is fantastic. If no other reason, buy these broken, put them in your living room on the mantle. It's a beautiful color, and it kind of goes with any decor. I mean, just look at it in this room. Next is the KMD Overdrive, and I have the box.
He has the box.
The box is a little damaged, but I have it. You don't have the box. I have the box. I'm gonna take the lid to the box. I set the lid to the box down here, and in the box that I have is the pedal. I'm gonna take the pedal out of the box.
He has the box.
This is the pedal. It is treble, bass, level, and drive, much like the distortion. Very different circuits though. Now, this is one of the weirdest overdrives I've ever played. I mean that. I'm being completely honest with you. It's strange. It's so strange, I'm not sure what I think about it, but I think it's very, very unique. It feels like there's always a bit of clean signal, and it feels like the bass frequency is this really odd, like picked out low mid thing that they were going for, much like the distortion. If you're looking for something you've never heard, this is it. That's deep. And you don't get that on any other channel, just here. Next up is the flanger. Now I have a lot of good things to say about this, but I do want to just bring up, I think it's my favorite color from the series. We had the Barney purple distortion, we had the Alaskan wild caught salmon phaser, but this is green. Not just green, but like green. Like we're not over here on the left trying to be green, or over here on the right, like I'm green, but maybe I'm not on some days. This is like absolutely green. My favorite shade of green. I just want y'all to know that. Now, here's the other point. The controls aren't fully labeled, so I'm gonna interpret to you what they actually say. This is confusing stuff, and I'm here for you. So this knob is depth, this one's speed, but this is where it gets confusing. Manu is manual. You couldn't have figured it out without me. And reso is, guess, resonance. Let's play it. It's really great. It does a great chorus sound. All flangers do. I keep telling you guys that and you don't listen. So take your flanger, turn the settings down. It's a great chorus. Last is the chorus, stereo chorus. Now, it's really great. It is a 3207 Bucket Brigade chipset, just like the flanger, and it has 3 controls, depth and speed, and in KMD fashion, doing things a little strange for the time and a little ahead of everyone else. There's a tone control on the chorus. So this is essentially very much a BOSS CE2 kind of thing with the added tone control. It lets you darken it up or brighten it, which is really nice if you use chorus with distortion and so on. This color I'm not crazy about. I like it. You know, I've seen better colors. It's fine. Let's play some chorus riffs. I'm never going to run stereo because I haven't done that in 25 years. So here's the mono interpretation of the KMD Stereo Chorus. Enjoy. Now that we've listened to these, I think you would agree with me in saying they sound really good, and like I've mentioned on a few of the different pedals, they have feature sets that are unique for the time and even for today, like putting a tone control on a chorus and a phaser. That's awesome. So the answer to number 2 is yeah, these are great pedals and they sound really good. We need to move on to number 3, and that question is, did BOSS Roland secretly manufacture these? So let's attempt to answer this in the best way possible. Number 1, we know for a fact that a company like KMC, who is a wholesale distributor, does not make their own product. It makes no sense. They want to sell products, not manufacture them. Companies like that, like Guitar Center and others, they simply hire other people to make their products and they slap their name on them. It's really that simple. So moving on from that, we know they didn't make them, so someone did. Now, did BOSS do it? Okay, let's look at the case. This is what people get hung up on. Yeah, it's the same dimensions, exactly. But looks aren't everything, and it can be really deceiving because if you're gonna copy a BOSS pedal, do it better like these companies. Look at this. They even use the names. So that's not the point here. It's just BOSS had a huge impact and people picked up the form factor. So in no way does that prove that BOSS made these. It's kind of silly. Now, moving on past that, they're way too heavy to be made by BOSS. Trust me on that. It's kind of strange. They weigh like 50 pounds a piece. Now inside, the manufacturing methods are different. Ribbon cables, the capacitors are strange, stuff that BOSS has never or would never used. Okay, and then the other point, people say, well, they're made in Japan, BOSS had to make them. Well, Japan's full of companies, the biggest companies ever that made everyone's products. Maxon is there. They made stuff for Bruno, for Ibanez. You have Shinai, who made stuff for Univox, everyone. That proves nothing. Japan was full of companies who made pedals for everyone. So my opinion on this is BOSS absolutely did not make these. These are really unique pedals manufactured for Mr. Kamen, and he probably engineered them uniquely, because another aspect of this is that usually when you see distributors and wholesalers slapping their name on something, you end up with pedals that look identical from different companies. This is weird. We would see this happen with the KMD. You would have a KMD and then you'd have the Polaris version, but there's no such thing. So these are unique, created, manufactured, engineered pedals for Kamen, and they're awesome. And with that said, let's move on to record time. Today's record time is brought to you by 1998's Boards of Canada Music Has the Right to Children. You need to listen to this album because it's the ultimate chill album. You need to relax, put it on, don't think about anything. Just look at some pedals, stare at the wall, and let this just wash over you, calm you down, because I can tell you're stressed out, and enjoy it. I love the use of vibrato on this. I've been playing it a lot in the car lately. Just good thinking music. So I'm here to share that with you. Check it out. Let me know in the comments what you think, and put it on right now. Like, go ahead, put it on while I push it forward. Thanks so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I think we answered all the questions that I really needed to get to the bottom of. Hopefully you've discovered a brand new pedal line in these KMDs, and you can find them at pawn shops or see them online for cheap. Buy them up. They're really cool and you will not regret it. So click like if you like this episode. Also subscribe to the channel, and then there's a bell icon. You can click that and get notifications of future episodes. There is thejhsshow.com where you can buy shirts and other stuff, just like this shirt, because you know, you might be like me where like I just obsess meticulously over details that nobody cares about. We could be like in a shirt club together. That'd be fun. Anyway, moving on from that, there is also a link in the description for the JHS Show Patreon. You can go be a patron of the show and help us with all this crazy history. We're trying to archive it all and save these stories that we know you enjoy and we enjoy. So have a great day and play guitar and stuff. Do other stuff too. Bye.